We're live.
Woohoo!
Let's say they gotta wait for them to come in. They're not here yet.
I go, hug it, mama.
Amen, Mama.
Halloween baby. Deborah.
Halloween baby. I missed y'all.
I think
I've
most
not
people
seen
hear it.
y'all in forever. I look back and I haven't
There you
gone
go.
in like a while. So I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot how to do everything. I'm kidding.
I haven't done a panel in a minute.
I haven't. I know. I've been just. When I
And I've
looked up to
already
see
had
how long it's been since my last live, I was like, geez.
I've already had one shot
Hey,
of tequila.
Okie,
Look out.
I'm good. Let's hear it. Um, I said in a community post, my daughter is upset because we were having this, but she went to her prom, and I'm like, I am not holding off another week. This part of her graduation gets real busy because I think next Saturday she's got awards at her. I don't know. Thank you, Mama. Um, so I don't know. I might have to put another one off. Hey, Fairy Dust, because I think she's got her theater awards next Saturday. I don't. Hey, Robin, thank you. Oh, y'all, thank you. Y'all notice I cut the shit out of my hair. Well, I didn't. The
It
lady
looks good.
did, but I cut a lot of it off.
It
I
looks
just
good.
no,
It looks
thank
good.
you. I don't think I've been live since I had it even colored. So
You can
taking
hear
my
it, can't you?
to the porch. Okay, to the porch swing.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
It's good. I think I have all the candles lit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Now, also tonight, the Leafs are playing. Hey, Freeside, I love you. The Toronto Maple Leafs are playing in their playoff game. This is do or die. Okay, do or die. So we're either going to hear happy things from in the living room upstairs. Probably y'all will be able to hear it, or very sad things, and hear a lot of stomping around. That would be my boy. So hey, Flossie.
Huh, freestyle,
I'm here
freestyle.
to. Oh, my sponsor for this thing. It's not really my sponsor. I'm kidding on this, but I am not a big wine drinker. I'm not a big drinker anyway, right? Back in the day, but I always want to look for like new stuff. And the barefoot, I like barefoot, but this is let's see, it's sweet cranberry. So we're gonna bust that open and do a little taste. Hold on, maybe we
Woohoo!
maybe we won't. Yep, we did. And then I got my huge wine glass here. This thing is big as my damn head. So then we'll take a little while we're waiting for people to come in.
I
It's
just got my Bud Light and tequila. That's good
There
enough
you
for me.
go. Hey, hey, hey. There you go. I got a vintage ice bucket down here that I'm putting my wine in. So what has been happening all? I don't think there's a lot that's been happening all week, has it? Week and a half.
Shannon,
Hey,
Shannon,
well,
I
thank you.
would fit right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I would
That's
fit
okay.
right into the housewives.
You see, you should cover the Housewives. I don't watch them anymore.
Isn't it weird that me and Shannon Bedora's birthdays on the same day?
Yeah, it is weird. Now
Yeah.
hold on. I put really dark eyeshadow on, and it now it looks like I look like a
It looks good.
crazy person. I look like a little crazy person, and I
Nah, you
can't
look
take it
great.
off now. I hit the setting spray, so it's there. So this drinking. Oh, let's hear it loud. Let me taste this. Let me swirl it around like those people do. All right, here we go. What's gonna happen? I don't know. Oh, that's good. That's good. That
Yum.
might be a problem. This might be what sends me to rehab. Direct me to rehab. That's really good. If y'all have the barefoot, I'm sure you do. It's a pretty big brand. They also have a pineapple one, which I passed on this time.
That
Um,
sounds good too.
I know. I thought it did too. And then when here, my husband and my daughter were at the store, and I was asking them to go through the wine. So they found the barefoot, and then I made them read off all the flavors, and my apple wasn't there, so we got this one. Well, that's more than this. This thing is huge. How huge that thing is! I love this, and I have blood red wine glasses, just this shape. And when I say blood red, they are blood red. And I was gonna use one, tonight. Oh, the Stars are tied 3 games. We'll see.
Hey Shannon, did you see the Masked Singer? Did you know who was on it?
Well, I saw that it Ruben Studdard
Corey.
and oh no, was it Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Shut up!
How
Oh my God, I missed it. Oh no, not Corey. He didn't win, did he?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh Lord, Corey.
I missed it. I don't know how.
Is he senior high school? Yeah, Mitten Mama. Let me. Here's that she got another huge scholarship. We haven't finished with the scholarships are still coming in. We have not yet applied for a Pell Grant or any other grant from the government because all these keep coming in. Now, Randolph is a private college. Okay, it's not. It's a private college that it's been in our town. It used to be Randolph-Macon Women's College. It obviously only had women, but like a lot of colleges like that, times got tough, and we had to let in the boys. So she has gotten 75% of her semester, and we still have two more grants to go. And I didn't realize, as a mother, when your kid, she would do so much work, y'all. She would stay at school from 7 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night when they had shows. She would get in the car crying, right? All the stress for being like stage manager or tech or head tech or what. And we didn't know, obviously, that it was going to turn into this, the appreciation and the attention of all these different kind of scholarships. And you always think your kid's the best one, right? Oh, my kid's the best one in that play. She really was. She really was. So I don't know what to do. And when they were down in Alabama for the competition piece, the leads didn't get the award. My daughter did. So I haven't been home here for. Well, thank you, Robin. I am trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. The older I get, the more I fight it. I'm telling you. I fight it. So, and I just, like I said, just got the hair done. Anyway, I was trying to think of any good stuff that I did see going on. Because I would look to see if anybody was live. Thank you, Mama Cannoli. Thank you. I went to it's just not a lot of stuff's been going on over on my first side of YouTube. They quiet. Second side is bubbling up a little bit. But then we had, the Nicolene and all that shit. Boring. Hey, Missouri. When I should show you. Hey, Renee Marie, how are you? So I said it's Saturday night paranormal pajama party, right? I went to the Goodwill like I always do, and I found this literal muumuu, right? It is the biggest garment I have ever seen in my life. I'd say when I got out of the shower a little earlier, I walked out of the bathroom in the moo and I said, "Hey Shelby Lynn," I said, "Is it too much? Did it twirl? Is it too much?" My husband was like, "No, no," and I almost wore it. Doesn't mean I won't wear it, but yeah, I went on and put on my literal pajamas. So yeah, I. So are we ready? Let's see. It's 12. Oh, let me tell y'all. Let me tell you one thing. Good. Let me tell you something good that's happened because of all of these things. Uh I couldn't get my time for. I am a story and a half ahead of um my time schedule. You know, I usually do a story during the week. I have one complete, one almost complete, and I'll tell you who they are. It is this Z. Smith Reynolds. His father was R.J. Reynolds. And in the 30s, 1932, he and he was only 20 years old. Was on his second marriage, and he was killed in the family home. And his wife and his best friend were, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a mystery because I don't know what happened. And then we have the Jameson family, Bobby, Sherry Lynn, and Madison, their daughter, and they were in Oklahoma. Went to look at some property up in the mountains. Uh, got lost. Not even got. I don't know if they got lost, but they're gone. And in their truck, they found. Now, these two people are on disability, mind you, okay? They're on disability. And they decided they want to buy a 40-acre plot of land in the mountains. So they went to look at two of them, and they went missing. So when the police looked and got into their car, which was a truck, they had a half-dead dog they left in there.
In like a cool way.
Dog was fine.
In like a cool way.
Half-dead dog, $32,000 in cash. It's a good one. If you want to look it up, it's a really good one. And it's Jameson, so it's Jamison, not E-I. So, girl, we're going to tell ghost stories. So that's the two that I have coming. And I'm excited about both of them. And what I'll do next, I don't know. But I'm going to be ahead of schedule. And I love being ahead of schedule. All right. Do you remember that? Yeah, I think they went missing in 2009. Their bodies were found in, I think, 2013. It was, they put up a picture of they said, we'll show it. I'll show the photograph then. But they also thought they had demons on their roof, and they asked their pastor if they were any secret bullets that they could use to shoot the demons off the roof. Walter's in is Walter in his pajamas. So yeah, they thought their house was haunted, and he said they were on the roof, and their pastor said, I don't know of any of those special bullets, but I'll look into it for you. Didn't quite need them after all. It's a very odd story. It's a very odd story. So I'm like I probably am about 3/4 of the way done with that one. And we'll roll on. All right, Carrie, you still up here? Girl, where are you at? We're going to, if y'all have
I didn't want to interrupt you.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I get to carrying on. If y'all.
You can hear, okay, I have my hearing aids in. You can understand me, right?
I have a UFO. Oh, yeah. All right. So the link is pinned. So if y'all want to come up and tell a story, and I'm just thinking, even if we don't have many stories, I'll go on YouTube and look at celebrity ghost stories. I love that shit.
Oh, there you go.
I love that shit.
Hell yeah.
Sour Girl, tonight we are drinking. Hold on.
I already had a shot of tequila, y'all.
Yeah, she's having tequila. I'd be up here with my damn tits out.
But like, tequila's supposed to help colds and allergies.
I reckon so. You got alcohol. Hey, Granny, Grammy Rita. I'm drinking sweet cranberry wine from Barefoot. They are the official. There's Deb A. Hold on, we're getting out. I don't want a lot of people up here. Deb A, my love.
No, for real, tequila's
How are you?
with colds and allergies and stuff.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me? I guess you can.
Woohoo!
Well, here's what it is, Sour Girl. It's kind of a, I don't know, pink.
Red,
Shannon,
red,
I don't know
red.
what you're doing, but you look amazing.
Doesn't she?
Unbelievable. Yes. Whatever it is, keep doing it because you look amazing.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. I
She
really
does.
do. Do you know what there was my husband always used to tell me how gorgeous and beautiful I was. And then I started believing him. And everything changed.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that is what happened. He told me all of our lives, 20 some years, and I finally decided that maybe he's right, and then I acted accordingly. So, but I do appreciate it very much. Very, very much. Okay.
Who wants to go first for stories?
All right, Carrie, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll get mine out of the way.
No, you get out of the way. Go on.
I hate the way
Thank
I
you,
talk.
Rob.
I sound so plugged up. But anyway.
Come on, that tequila's in you. Come on now.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Come on. Work. Give
This
me
is
some
really
drinking
good.
courage.
I'm getting it. My ears are starting to burn with 2 sips of wine.
Anyway. Okay, the UFO story I'll start off with first. I worked at this factory a few years ago. Well, longer than a few years ago. You remember that factory I had for like 16 years?
Right.
Well, anyway. Okay, this is really wild. You all explain this to me because I tell this day I can't. It's weird. It's like I was like, what?
Right.
And of course, I usually carpool when it was a Friday night. It's like a 45-minute drive. That's one of the reasons why I quit.
That's a long way.
Money.
That's a long way.
Money. And that's why I carpooled. But one night I decided to drive myself because it was Friday night, right? And everybody's getting off work at the same time, and we have to wait to get out to the interstate. It's like a circle, kind of, long line of cars.
Yeah.
Second shifters. And there's a cornfield. And you know how they say UFOs are always over a cornfield, right?
But there's a lot of shit that stays over cornfields.
Well, fields. Any kind of field.
Yeah.
Well, they beam up cows. You heard of that?
I don't know.
Anyway, okay. I saw this baby light. I'm like, what is that? And all of a sudden, it seemed really low. But you never know how high. My boyfriend's like, you don't know how low it was. I go, and he goes, it could have been far away. I know, but it just looked low. And it just, all of a sudden, it just did this diamond-shaped form.
Oh, God.
Like UFOs do? And then it was going around in circles, and there was these bright, shiny, colorful lights. And I looked at it, and I'm like, no way. And at that time, everybody listens to Coast AM. I don't know if you hear about, they talk about paranormal stuff, UFOs.
I know what you're talking about because I had to supervise third shift one time. And I heard that when I was like taking a break, and I thought, this is not what I need. But go ahead.
Anyway, so everybody listens to Coast on the way home, because it's interesting, entertaining, and it's a long ways home from work. And but anyway, and all of a sudden that thing that I saw did a triangle thing, and all of a sudden it went poof out of nowhere, just shot out of the air, and that was it.
So everybody saw it?
Yeah, that's the weird part. I got to work working Monday, and this lady I ate dinner with, she says, I saw the strangest thing Friday night. I'm
Damn.
like, oh, good, I'm not crazy.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know
And
what I
then
would
she
do.
said, she goes, I don't know if I'm listening to too much coast to coast. I don't know, but it was just weird. I think it was a UFO.
I wonder if that show still comes on. Probably
I
not.
wondered that too. And
Yeah,
then my carpool said that him and his buddy rolled down the windows to look at it, and they didn't hear any noise. There's
you
no
never
noise.
they never hear noise when they never hear noise.
Really?
Yeah, look that up. They never hear nothing. No
I bet it
noise
was a
comes
UFO.
from it.
Isn't that wild?
It's very wild. So that's my thing. All right. We can't be the only people out here. You know, there's
Yeah.
every single sun, every single star is a sun. And every one of those suns is it's got to have planets around it like we do. It all form the same way. So we can't be the only one.
Yeah.
But maybe we're the dumbest ones because they found us first. I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
And then my other story was, I swear to God, the house I grew up with was haunted because a lot of crazy things happened in that house. Well, I told you the story about my dad the last time.
Right.
Okay, that was just a funny story, but this time my dog at the time was freaking out, and then I saw the shadow figure in the driveway because my neighbor's light had those lights that goes on when the wind hits it or something.
Yeah.
You know, what are they called? You know what I'm talking about? Where
I
they
know
turn
what you're
on.
talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, my dog was freaking out. I was home alone, of course, and I was looking out the
Hey,
door,
Rachel.
and I saw somebody. I swear to God, I saw somebody walking around the driveway,
Right.
and it looked like a tall guy with a hat. And I looked it up years later, and it said something about shadow people, the shadow guy. Have you
Now,
heard of that?
they're supposed to be bad. Yeah, shadow people are supposed to be really bad.
Yeah.
But
And then I called my neighbor. This is funny. I called my neighbor's grandma, and I said, I think there's somebody in my yard, and I don't know what to do. Can I come up and hang out until my parents get
there
home?
you go.
So I ran up there.
As far fast as you can.
Yeah, I was scared, man.
Yeah, I've always heard shadow people are bad. At one time in this house, I was coming, and I might have said this the last time. I was coming down the steps, and the basement was pitch black dark. Couldn't see anything in front of you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. And I had to get all the way over to the corner of the basement, just open the door, lock the door, or do something. And when I got down to the bottom of our steps, literally before I could stop or process what I was seeing in front of me was something that was darker than the dark. All right. It was a human shape and it was darker than the dark. And I went straight through it because I couldn't stop.
Oh, wow.
Right? But it didn't scare me. That's the thing. It didn't
Huh.
scare me. Like when I did it, I wasn't like, oh shit, or I didn't run back up the steps. I just kept going. It's something like if they know, if they're a lot of times things are friendly. They're just sometimes they don't even know that you're there. They're in their residual. And
they're probably more scared of us than we are of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Does anybody watch the show Ghost on CBS? If you don't, please do. It's like, so we're going into season 3. It is the funniest show. It's about this bed and breakfast, and all these go when they die on the property, you have to stay on the property in this show. And so the woman hit her head and almost died, and did die, but now she's able to see them, right? And you've got like a Indian, you have a Viking, you got a flower who was a flower child and tried to hug a bear, and it didn't work. You have a revolutionary soldier, a jazz singer and a woman from like the 1800s. It's the funniest show I've ever seen in my life. I love it. It's
Oh,
and
something happened here. That was creepy.
yeah, yeah. There, yeah, I've seen worse. Right? Come on. Hey, Southern
Well, I'll
girl.
let Deb A tell her story. I'll
Okay,
shut
love.
down.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Not
You're welcome, of
Paramount, but
course.
you're appreciate the little. I got one of my clients. Oh, Flossie. Hey, Debbie. Hey, lady.
Hello.
How are you, darling? All right.
Ah, I
Are you
actually have two stories. One
good?
is the evil house, and the other one is a house that I loved. But the first one, I was young, in my 20s. I had 4 kids under 4. I had a husband that worked nonstop,
Well,
and we bought our first house. We were told about this house by a realtor friend, a very cheap house that we could get for uh, just a steal.
yeah.
So we went to see it, and we walked in, and it was like the people had just up and left. There was dinner
Oh,
still on the table. There were dishes in the sink, dirty clothes all over the house. Beds weren't made,
yeah. Like they just
not,
up and left.
yeah. And like I said, the house was great. It was only 7 years old. Um, we put an offer in, and it was accepted right away. So we went to the closing. We got the keys. We went
Okay,
over to the
Lacey.
house, and we walked in, and everything was still there. They hadn't picked up anything. So, of course, I called the realtor. I said, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he tried to get in touch with them. He told them, we were moving in. They had to get their stuff out. Never heard anything. Now, I
Oh,
had painting to do. There were things that had to be
yeah.
done. So we moved all of their stuff outside under a tarp. That's all we could do. We
Right.
let them know that it was there. It was all, safe under tarps. But I
Ooh.
mean, and I'm talking everything that they own,
Have a great night, Southern girl. I'm sorry.
a real Tiffany lamp.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it made no sense. But anyway, like I said, I had 4 kids under 4. The only time we could work on the house was at night. I would get a
Yeah.
babysitter. And the first night, a girlfriend of mine and my sister and I went over to work on the house. And we cleared out most of the upstairs, and, just an exhausting night. And I heard knocking on the door. So I went downstairs. I thought it was my husband. And I opened the door, and nobody was there. Then I looked out the window, and there were cats all over the windows. I mean,
Shut
I've never
up.
seen so many cats in my life. I mean, it was unbelievable. So I go back upstairs. There was nobody there, and we could hear footsteps downstairs. So now we all went downstairs. We grabbed, I think I had a hammer. My friend had a broom.
Yeah.
We opened and we looked everywhere. There was nothing there. So we decided, we're going home. Went back upstairs to get our coats and everything. And I had never lived in a 2-story home
Oh,
before.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I didn't know that I could turn the lights off downstairs and upstairs. So I waited for everybody to go downstairs, before I turned off the lights. Everybody was at the bottom. I turned the lights off, and I came down in the dark. We loaded up the car, we're pulling down the driveway, and we looked, and the lights went on upstairs.
Oh, stop. No.
So, no way in hell was I going back in.
No.
So I called my husband and I told him, "Can you stop on the way home? I think somebody's in the house." He did. Nobody was there. So we went over the next night. I can't remember what happened. Every night that we were there, something weird happened.
Yeah.
One day we went over, and in the utility room, the workroom, there was something wrapped in butcher paper.
Bad time.
And we unwrapped it, and it was a bobcat's head. And I mean, I screamed, and the neighbor from next door came over.
Susan.
And he said, "We're so happy that there's a normal family here."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He
That
said the
was mean.
family that lived here had issues. Well, he got rid of the bobcat's head. Some of the things that happened, we were painting one night, and there were a lot of us over there painting, and the fire alarm went off.
Oh, stop.
We took the batteries out of it because we couldn't stop it. Now, my husband was a firefighter too, by the way. Took the batteries out, and it still kept going off, on and off all night. Another night, there was a fourth bedroom. There were 4 bedrooms upstairs, and there was a door that led to nowhere, just a drop down to the grass. I guess they were going to build a deck or something there.
Okay, that makes sense.
And, somebody had written in, the condensation on the door from the outside, "Get out."
Oh,
And I thought it was somebody that was with us, and,
yeah, but kidding around.
yeah, kidding around, but nobody would admit to it. And I kept saying, "It's not funny, guys." I had 2 different friends. Well, a friend and then another friend's mother came to see the house to look at it. They were happy for us. And my friend looked at me and she said, "Would you call Father Arnold and have him come bless this house?"
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
And I said, "Why?" And she said, I feel like this house needs to be blessed."
Right.
And then my girlfriend Donna's mother came in, and she wouldn't leave the front hall. And she told Donna afterwards, she said there was something in that house. So my parents came over, and my mother said,
Sour girl's here.
"Hey, sour girl."
Hello, love.
Hi, Deb. Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Debbie's got me scared there. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So my mother, when she came over, she told my father, "I don't like that house. There's something wrong with it."
Right.
Now, I wasn't feeling anything because I was exhausted. Usually I have the spidey senses when it comes to, weird things. I
Right.
felt nothing. All I felt is I have to finish this house so we can move in. And like I said, so many things happen, weird things that we could never explain. So we moved in. And it was my husband's busy time of year. Not only was he at the fire department full time, but we had another carpet business. And it was around the holidays and beginning of December. He was just gone constantly. So, a lot of the work was just up to me.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, Sarah, was here. This was in Tennessee, and she came from New York, and she was visiting and helping me. And like one night, I was upstairs. I had just put the kids to bed. She was at the bottom of the stairs. We were talking about something, and all of a sudden, something pushed me. I mean, I didn't fall. She said I literally came flying out and then down the stairs. We were so sure somebody was up there.
Right.
And again, nobody. Then I'm thinking, God, is somebody in the attic? There's a crawl space you think of everything. You try to think of everything.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we found hidden things in the wall, where somebody had removed portions of the wall and there were weird things in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the night, the
All right,
fifth
Lacey, be
night,
safe.
the fifth night that we were in there.
The fifth night.
Yeah, that we
The
were in
fifth. I
there.
make sure everybody the fifth night.
Yes.
Not the fifth month. Not
Nope.
the fifth week.
And then the fifth night that we
Yeah.
were in there, I hung the last curtain. I put the last box, broke it down. And I walked upstairs thinking tomorrow it can be home, finally,
Right.
after all this work that I've done. And so I get upstairs and my chest of drawers was still down. It hadn't been moved up yet. So in the middle of, it was like December 5th, I think. No, December 2nd it was. The only thing I had to wear to bed was a little shorty nightgown, no underwear, no
Right.
pants,
Hey,
nothing.
listen.
Everything
You
is
know what you do.
downstairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So went to bed. Husband gets up at 5 to go to the fire department. I fell back to sleep. And next thing I know, so I hear my boys screaming,
Oh no.
Mommy, we're going to die. We're going to die.
Oh,
We can't breathe. And I'm laying there and I'm trying to open my eyes and I'm thinking, oh, I wish they'd just go back to sleep,
yeah.
And they're and then the 3-year-old yelled, "We're going to die. The fire is going to burn us." And that's something snapped in my head.
Yeah.
So I rolled out of bed. There was so much smoke I couldn't see anything. My 1-year-old was crying, screaming in her crib. So I went into the nursery first and I found her right away, and grabbed her up by a leg, pulled her out of her bed by her leg.
It'll work.
But I couldn't find the baby. I had a 3-month-old.
Right.
Couldn't find his crib. There was so much smoke. I'm running around in circles trying to, feeling around.
Yeah.
And I remember standing in the middle of the room and saying, "Oh God, what do I do? Do I save my other 3 kids
Right.
and lose the baby? Or do I stay and find the baby and lose everybody?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh God, help me." And honest to God, I felt a hand on my back push me right forward, right into his crib. I so much believed that there was somebody there with me that I yelled, "Go get my other boys. My other boys are in that bedroom down the hall." So I got the baby out and I dropped him immediately on the floor, which saved his life because it forced smoke out of his lungs, I
I was
guess.
gonna say, yeah, getting him down low.
And then that's when I remembered, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be down by the floor.
Right.
Get to the boys' room and they're still in there. And so I get them out. We go to that 4th bedroom. Now, my husband, I had such a fight with him because he hadn't nailed that door shut yet.
Oh,
And
one, yeah.
yeah, I had nagged him about it.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed that he hadn't done it. And well, thank God.
Thank
But
God, yeah.
threw open that door and, I expected to see the fire department and, nets and,
Yeah.
and there's nothing. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, "Help me, help me." So a neighbor comes from around the side of the house and she said, "Oh my God, oh my," throw the kids down to me. So I've got, those baby, oh, what do you call them? Those little jumper things that have the ties at the bottom.
Yeah, that you can. Yeah,
I literally was dangling my 3-month-old by that to drop it down to her. And I dropped my other 3 kids down. And then it dawned on me, I have no pants on. No way in hell am I like
That
to
would be
jump
me.
out.
That
So
would be me.
I went back into the fire,
Oh God, to get your pants.
found a box with my husband's, and I don't know what I put on, a pair of shorts or something. I don't know. But anyways, and I jumped out the door, landed on my feet. I could probably never do that again.
Adrenaline.
So yeah, so we get over to the neighbor's house, and the neighbors are saying we were so afraid something like this was going to happen. We were so afraid.
Oh,
And I'm thinking, huh? So now I call the fire department because that's where my husband was. And we were right outside the city, and they only sent one truck
oh,
outside the city. Um, and then the rest was volunteers.
okay,
So
okay, yeah.
yeah, I called him, and his friend answered the phone, and I said, Donnie, I need Philip quick. My house is on fire. He said, well, Deb, he's on his way to a fire right near your house. I said, Donnie, it is our house.
It is hard.
So here's my husband riding with his partner, telling him, oh, yeah, I just bought a house, on that street. My kids are going to get a kick out of this.
Oh
Not,
my, not so
not
much.
having any clue. So they round the corner. He realizes it's our house. He jumps out of the truck. He goes flying, no equipment on, nothing, no air. And I was outside with the neighbor, and I came running over, and all I could think of was, I'm sobbing and I'm in
Yeah.
shock, and I'm saying, and I couldn't find the baby. I couldn't find, and he thought the baby was still in the house.
Oh, that's all he heard.
Oh, they had
Yeah.
to tackle him. Yeah. But anyways, so as we're standing there in the driveway watching our house burn, there's a man there, this strange man crying in the driveway. Come to find out, he was the previous owner.
What?
Yeah. And he was apologizing to us and saying how sorry he was. His wife was in the mental institution because of that house.
Really?
Yes. They had a psychic come over and
Oh,
told them, get out of here. You've got to get out of here. And they sold the house to us. Well, then
hey,
one of the firefighters told me, he said, I was here the last time this house burned. I said, what do you mean?
what?
That house burned on December 2nd at 8:05 in the morning. Our house burned on December 2nd, and my call to went in at 8:05 in the morning.
Oh my God.
So, anyways,
So, I mean, he probably didn't want to talk about the house, but obviously, I would love to know right now what happened to the people that moved in after you.
well, I'm going to tell you. When
She
we went to
knows.
when we went to sell the house, I was adamant. My realtor hated me. First of all, it cost us, my husband and I, so much money because I would not allow that. Like the electrician came in and he said, well, I can still, because the downstairs burned, the upstairs, was hot. Like the crib toys melted in the cribs, but
Hey,
there were still parts of the house that they could have still used studs. And
yeah.
I said, no, no, it's got to. I could not sell this to somebody else with, I need to
Yeah.
know it's safe. So it cost us more than what the insurance paid. So we sold the house. This guy wanted it so bad, and he was all excited. He knew
You
everything.
said sucker.
We know. I told him everything.
Oh, I'm sure. But he
So
was so excited.
yeah, yeah, he was a single man, just got out of the service.
That's a lot.
So he wanted to get in the house early. and asked if it was okay. And he wanted to set up his aquariums, and we said, yeah,
yeah.
it's fine. The day of the closing, he called and he said, I'm sorry, I can't buy this house. He said, I am so sorry. He said, there's something wrong here. And that's the last I heard from him. Well, our realtor, I mean, I went nuts because we put everything into it. We had, again, and again, it's in December.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming. All my kids' Christmas money was in, to
Of
get that
course.
house finished for this guy. What ended up happening is the realtor talked him into buying the house, going through because he had his, and she told him, you don't even have to live there.
Right.
You don't have to pay a note. If we can't sell this house after 3 months, we will pay you, and
They'll
we
buy the
will buy the
house from
house.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to him. Nobody
Let me tell
knows
you something.
because the neighbor called me one day and she said the house is destroying itself again. And I said, "What do you
It's
mean?"
like on fire.
She said, no." She said, "There's water pouring out all over. All the pipes had burst."
Oh.
Nobody could get in touch with him. Nobody knew where he was.
In like a cool way.
So
Glad
that
to see
house
you.
for the next 5 years, 5, 6 years, was posted the property of the United States government.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
And that's how it stayed forever. So
Oh.
eventually it was rebuilt and resold. I no longer lived there. I had moved
Yeah.
back here in New York.
They got the funk out of it. They got the funk out of it. Funk. I
But
said.
one day I decided to look that house up, and there's a site that will tell you everything that's happened to a house.
Really?
Yeah. And I can't remember the name of it, but when I found it, I looked, that house burned 5 more times after we lived there. It had 5 more
Something.
fires. Yeah.
That is so. Now I've watched people when you were telling this story in the side chat going, I would not stay there one more day. I would not do it. When I said the 5th night, they was like, no, it'll be one night. That's the consistent. Here's what I think, and if y'all know, tell me. I know that if you ask a realtor if somebody ever died in that house, they have to tell you.
I think now they do, but back then they didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know that was. And then if you ask them if it's haunted, do they have to tell you?
I
Well,
don't know.
we've had some issues. The house likes to burn down.
Well, we found out afterwards. That house was notorious in the neighborhood. Everybody was aware of it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it had so many
I am right
problems.
where your grandma thank you. I thought I was.
It was it had so many problems. So anyways, I went on Google Earth and I wanted to look at the house again. And I go to the street and the house isn't there. There's a whole different house there. Because the last time it burned, they decided to level it
Right.
and just build a whole nother house.
Now, my question is, if that land is what the problem was, right? The land that it was built on. And if you build something over something without having it, I don't even know what you
whatever you have to do, right?
Yeah, then it's gonna have the same problems.
I
Unless
would think
somebody
so.
did do that. I don't know.
I would think so.
I would think so too, but then again, what do I know? Sour girl, what do I know? Nothing.
And then I have another of more pleasant, and I'll be real quick about this one. But I love old homes. I've always wanted to live in an old home.
Too.
So, and when we lived in Ohio, I found an old home. didn't think I would ever be able to get into it, but I'm one of these nosy people. I just wanted to go look
Yeah.
at it. So I called the realtor and I told my friend Mike that I was living, he and I were an item back then. And I said, I just want to look at it. That's all I want to do is look at it because he did not like old homes. He wanted something modern.
Robin,
So,
I'll talk about that in just a second, Robin. Amityville House, because we've discussed that before. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, that's okay. So we did go to look at it. We both fell in love with it. There was just something about it. House is 200 years old. It was part of the Underground Railroad. There's a plaque in the house saying it. There were two
All right,
little
so I'm
girls.
thinking, wait a minute. I'm thinking, I was going to ask you what kind, because like some people like the Victorians. I don't want to, I hate those houses. But then there's like, all right, so I
This
will say,
was
because in the South, we got a lot of antebellum. We have antebellum homes that, you can look through the front door and see out the back door, no matter how big that thing is. And then there's, there's
this
so many
was a
different kinds.
federal. It was
Okay,
and it was very similar to that too. So anyways, we moved in and the first night or the first week, I don't remember. Mike was upstairs sleeping and I fell asleep on the couch. And he came down and he said, "Knock it off." And I said, "What?"
right,
He said, "It's not." He said, "You're not funny," because he was terrified of ghosts. That was his biggest fear. That
right.
there was a. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You're up there pulling my toe and then giggling." I said,
Uh,
"What?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Yes, you are." I said, "I'm telling you, I'm not." Well, happened again a couple of nights later, and he could hear the giggling.
oh, stop.
So
No.
we had so many little things happen. I was laying down one night and I came out of the downstairs bedroom and Mike was out of town and the pillows from the couch were lined up across the floor. Our dog and cat would react weird. Before we got the cat, I would find the toilet paper all unrolled in the middle of the floor. A whole roll of toilet paper just unrolled.
Boy, woman.
Um, there were things moved on the fireplace. There were one night my camera just started clicking, going off like somebody was pushing the camera.
Yeah. So like little
Uh,
jokes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we always got the impression that it was little kids.
Yeah.
So
You're like,
then
love it.
I started researching the house and the history of the house. And in 1830, three children died within 3 weeks of each other in the house, two little girls and a little boy. And I swear those
Little,
were
yeah.
our, yeah.
You're a little
No,
kid.
another time I was cooking in the kitchen and I thought somebody was behind me, but I can't describe smell. It was like dirt and body odor and
Oh, yeah.
uh, it was a horrible smell. But, back then they didn't bathe often, they
That's
didn't
true.
wear deodorant. And that's what it reminded me of. I was afraid to turn around. I thought somebody was
Yeah.
standing behind me.
Sounds like a manly man. It
Yeah,
smells like a manly man. Yeah.
yeah, there was nobody there. So, that house I loved. I was never afraid in it. There were always little things happening, but never afraid. The first house was a demon house.
Right. Well,
So,
yeah, the things that happen in this house just kind of aggravate me, because they'll call my name, but it's in the voice of one of my children.
yeah. Oh, that's
And
common. Yeah.
and they're not here. And I'm like, what? And then I'll stop and I'll go, okay, and I'll yell, you're not funny. And just ignorant. They'll turn the this is what they are, another one they love to do. Turn the shower head towards me, whoever's getting ready to turn the shower on. So they turn it right towards you so you get hit with it. Don't appreciate that one. Do not appreciate that one. But little dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's better to have the dumb stuff than to have
Oh no,
something
I agree.
evil,
I don't want them burning the joint down.
because that first house of ours was evil. It was definitely evil.
And I can see where it would. The story that I'm doing of those Jamesons, right? They were ghosts in the house and outside of the house. Everybody that ever went into their home said it was haunted. Something was not right. You couldn't wait to get out. And I'm thinking, all right, so she all of a sudden develops bipolar disorder. Now, I don't know, because you can't get the real thing, but, I don't know if she developed it at 40. I don't know. Maybe not. But so, yeah, it does have that imprint on you. It leaves an imprint on your soul when it's malevolent and, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, Debs, you could make a movie out of that. Jeez, that's crazy.
It is
And
crazy.
I only gave you the tip of the iceberg on things that happened. I mean, it was unbelievable, the things that we dealt with. But I'm looking in the comments that I wasn't paying attention to. How many people have had experiences?
Mhm.
You can say I don't believe in it, but too many people have had experiences for it not
Oh,
to.
yes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like what I was telling you, Shannon, with the sleep paralysis thing. I grew up with sleep disturbances, sleep paralysis. Um, Never have good dreams, and I even had the sleep study thing done. So there's just neurologically, they're telling me there's a certain level of sleep that I don't reach. Right, so you're waking up while you're dreaming, but you can't move. You
Yeah, but you
can't.
can't move.
Yeah,
That's different.
but you're hallucinating. Like I feel things. Like
Yeah.
I can feel pressure on the bed, like somebody's hitting the bed. I feel like I'm being held down. The worst, though, I just wanted to come up and tell you this one. This is what prompted this with my friend. It was the afternoon, and Gabe was still real little, and I fell asleep on the couch. And I woke up, and he was standing there, and standing next to him was a little girl with blonde hair, dirty. She had like kind of a dirty face. She was wearing a yellow shirt, and she's just standing there with him. And my heart's already kind of hammering because she looked as real as my son standing there. The thing that got me really panicked, though, because I can't move when this is happening. She looked at my son, and she looked directly back at me and had this smirk. But it
Oh,
wasn't the smirk of a little girl. There was like something sinister behind it.
right.
And I'm laying there, and my heart's hammering, and you can't move. It feels like forever, even though it's only for like less than a minute that you can't break out of it, right? So I remember breaking, I finally broke out, and I'm screaming and, like, get away from my son.
Yeah.
And because it is so real. And that's when my friend was like, Shell, you have this so often. I honestly think you see people. He's like, I think he said, look in the papers, look in the news, look on the national news, see if there's a little girl that fits that description. He said, you're seeing something.
Yeah.
Because he's this believer that believes that, people that have these things happen to them are open to these, but for me, it's never good. It's never a pleasant experience. Every time I've had it happen, it's always been it's horrible. Like it's negative. Like there's auditory hallucinations. You feel like somebody's in the room and they mean to hurt you, and it's scary.
The reason I like to do these different kind of things, and like when I haven't done a mental health one in a long time, and I probably should, but I love it that people can hear somebody's story and go, me too, and you don't feel as crazy as you did before you told it.
Right.
And even with the paranormal, a lot of people have had experiences, but they don't want to tell it because people will think they're crazy.
Right.
And you're not. You're not. It's common, really more common than not. So that's why I like to do these little other different kind of things where we can all kind of get in there and say, yeah. Right.
I think that some of us are more sensitive than others.
Oh, sure.
Um,
For sure.
and we pick up on it. Shall, when you had the paralysis, I can't even talk tonight.
Yeah.
Could you breathe during it?
It's hard because I'm trying to scream. It's like my throat will knot up because sometimes it's scary and I'm trying to cry out.
Hey, Gary,
There's
hi.
been nights I've been trying to cry out to my husband because I'm like, you're panicking, you're fully panicking. And, and then I won't be able to sleep for a few hours after it happens because you're just so freaking disturbed by it. I mean, you can literally feel like, how somebody presses on the bed, the mattress, and you can feel it. Yeah, I literally can feel that. It felt like one night, like somebody was hitting the foot of my bed with their fists.
Right. No.
And yeah, and you finally break free of it and you looked at and there's nobody there. So when they tell you it's a neurological thing, you just in my head when it happens now, I'm like, this is not real. This is just a nightmare. This is just because
Right.
you just have to concentrate on breathing and moving to get out
I
of it.
get that. No, I get that. And it's that trying to scream and you
Yes,
can't do it is or you feel like you're trying to move your arms, but they're wrapped up in something and you can't do it, and
right.
it's horrific. It's horrific.
Yeah. Shannon,
I'll
did
say
you
that.
sleepwalk when you were a kid? Because I was a really, really bad sleepwalker as a kid, and they say a lot of people that have it.
Um, I actually was,
Okay.
and the doctor, apparently my pediatrician. You think a pediatrician, all right? So let's see. If I'm 55, and I'm sure I did it while I was a kid. My mother said one, I would never sleep. I would not sleep. There was no taking naps. There was nothing. I wouldn't do it. And then at night to put me in the bed, I didn't. You couldn't get me to go to sleep, and I remember that. I mean, it's still kind of like that.
Mm,
But I would walk. Now I, of course, would wake up. I would wake up in the kitchen. And she'd be standing there, and I wouldn't understand it. And I kind of grown out of it a lot. But
yeah.
it's when I've done it before while I've been married to my husband, and his big. His big, huge thing was he was always scared I was going to do it on the balcony and jump off. I'm like, what are you? I'm not. What do you mean jump off? I'm not sleep jumping. I'm sleepwalking.
Yeah,
So
when I was little, they had to put chain locks up way high because I would always try and get
way
out the
high.
door. And my sister said, she was like, you were a creep because she said there were nights. She said, one night you got up and you were having a conversation with me. And she said, and you were normal, like you were. She said, I thought you
Right.
were awake. She said, then you started saying really flipped out stuff like, oh my God, she's asleep. So she said, shall go to bed. And she like guided
Yeah.
me
I
back to my,
mean, yeah. I
You
used
know,
to apparently talk a lot in my sleep.
yeah.
I
You
I
know.
had a friend that used to say that she thought that I was the one that was haunted because
Well, I mean that does happen though. Does that happen?
They can latch. Yeah.
People, yeah.
I lived in another house and this one was only 80 years old. This house had always, it was a two-family home. My daughter lived downstairs. I lived upstairs. House had always been owned by a woman, always.
Oh,
First woman that owned it died in it. And I think her husband eventually lost it. This was in the 18 or 1930s. So I would hear things once in a while, weird things like a man sobbing. A lot of times I would feel, like you said, Shell, somebody like sitting on my mattress.
right.
Um, my daughter called one day and said, "Were you running laps upstairs last night?" Because she heard walking back and forth from the hallway to the kitchen, hallway to the kitchen. So just a lot of things. Well, I sold
Yeah.
the house. My daughter got married. I sold the house, and I was moving in with. Um, I had a long distance relationship with somebody for like 8 years, and we were going to start living together in Minnesota. So I was moving, and one night, right before I moved, I put my phone on record because I wanted to see if I snored as bad as I thought I did. So I thought I'd record it.
That's something I would do. That's something I would do.
So I'm recording and listened to the recording the next day, and I heard this voice as plain as can be say right in the phone, "Go to hell," like that. Scared the shit out of me. So then,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
So now I'm in this house by myself. I've got 2 more days here. I'm talking to a friend of mine on the phone. She's in Canada. We're on the computer on Skype, and we're talking, and all of a sudden I hear the moaning and the sobbing. And I said, "Boots, can you hear this?" And I took my headset off and I held it out, and she could hear it.
Oh, she could. I was gonna say,
"What
Wow.
the hell is that?" And I said, "That's what I'm talking about. That I've never heard it this loud." And I couldn't track it down. I couldn't tell. It sounded like it was coming from downstairs. I went down there. I thought, God, maybe the fan's on and it's, off whack and making. I didn't know what it was. Never did find out. So moved out of that house. And
Yeah.
Liza
Didn't
says
look
you can buy paranormal house insurance.
Hey, I'm gonna hop down and go back down into chat. Love you both.
You
Okay.
probably need to look into that. I'm just saying.
love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm gonna hop
Hey,
down too.
love
I'm
you,
just
yeah.
love the fact that so many people, have had, and it's they're not always bad experiences. I'm not afraid.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
not I'm even after that evil thing, um, it just made me aware that there's really is evil in this world.
There is, yeah. And I will always wonder, do they know? Does anybody know what draws it, what they're drawn to? There's so many variables that can happen in in somebody's life. When you have a great life, there's still horrible things that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
I was told that it wasn't just our house, that first one, that there were several in that housing division that going through the same thing with the doors opening and closing and cupboard doors slamming. And, it wasn't just ours. It was, and actually my mother started working in Nashville and carpooled. And this was like 5 years after, we had moved out. And the guy in her carpool, they started talking about this house in his subdivision, telling all this weird stuff, and it was our house. So,
it was
yeah.
very hot. I do this about every 5 or 6 weeks when I'm not doing the mysteries, and people seem to really like it. So, and I love it. I'm loving it. So, when the next time I'll put it up. Just watch my community thing, because a lot of people have a lot of great stories. I'll end it on this. I forgot to tell this story. And if I think I forgot about it, but if y'all have heard it, let me know, because I can't remember. My friend Lisa, I had a friend Lisa that I worked with, right? And her mother and father were, married for forever, and they used to get in on each other's nerves. He would leave the cabinet door open. She would leave her shoes, just little nitpicky stuff. The stuff that you miss when they're gone, but you can't stand it when when they're married, when you're married to them. And he passed away. The father passed away. He had built a whole wood shop working in his basement with, he made the cabinets, he did everything, right? So he also used to be a little OCD, and in the bathroom window they had these little little ceramic, little, I mean, like a mouth and and he always had to have them facing the same way in a line, right? You couldn't have one facing wrong. He would say that the world was going to end if he did. So he died, right? And she is going into the bathroom, and she looks, and they're all in a line, right? And she just, for the hell of it, just turned them different ways, and walked off. Something she'd never been able to do while they were married. She went back into the bathroom a little bit later, and they were all lined up perfectly again. And she was thinking, this woman was hilarious. She would say, "Oh, you're, Frank, you asshole," the husband. She would yell at him when he was dead. So she goes down into their basement to get something out of his shop, okay? And she's standing there, she's looking for it. She turns around. Every door was open. Every door was open, top, bottom. It was 15, different cabinet doors. 15. That's how it was massive. I remember she took me over to the house one time. It was the most massive thing I've ever seen in my life. So she literally turns around, and they're all open. And she gets all, mad. So then a couple weeks later, they had his ashes scattered up on a mountain up here because he loved to go hunt there. And Lisa ran into one of his friends. He said, "Lisa, I saw your dad up on the mountain a couple weeks ago. I yelled at him, and he just kept walking. Is he okay?" And she said, "He died. He died 2 months ago. And we just scattered his ashes up there." And he was like, "Oh, freaked the hell out." Who else heard that male? Oh, wait a minute. Is there something here, Warrior Grandma? Because I am not having it.
That's the other thing. I think a lot of people have had an experience with a loved one who's died and let them know that they're still here.
Yeah.
And to me, that's very comforting. My husband died when we were in our 30s, and
oh, wow,
left me with 4 kids to raise on my own. I've never forgiven him, and the man's not resting in peace, let me tell you.
I get it. I get it.
I had no doubt that he was still with us. And I think a lot of people have those stories too. So that might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we share all different kinds. We're also like, I think I'm lucky when I see stuff or hear stuff, right? I think I'm lucky. My husband thinks it's gross. But it's just something I've always had. When I was a kid, I would see a little girl clearly and no one else could. And Heather, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And when you're really, really open to it, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to hear. If you walk into a new place, to literally hear a crowd of people. You hear a crowd of people because there's so many voices still in there. And I'm not saying they haven't moved on, but then I don't know. I need to know that, I guess.
I'm sure your grandma recorded it, and the voice recorded. Oh,
my grandmother is 102. I've told this story. And my grandfather died when I was 4 or 5. And literally, he was my favorite person on earth. But she ended up getting remarried, because she was still young. But she's 102 now. And she dreams of him, of my papa. And he'll be laying in the bed with her. And she'll say, "I just want to go with you." And he'll go, "Not yet. Not time yet. Nope, not yet." And she wakes up angry at him. She doesn't understand why she can't go. She's 102. She's, done what she came here to do. And he'll tell her, "Nope, not yet."
Wow.
So I know that when she goes, he'll be there to take her. That's comforting to me.
Warrior Grandma, whose house was it at? Shannon's or mine? I'm hoping it's yours.
I mean, I'm in a basement, so my little office away from the rest of the house. Which hold on, let me see if anybody's still no score in the hockey game. Just let me tell you that. I thought it'd been awful quiet upstairs. Yeah, please hit the like button. I wish I would. I'm probably gonna wrap it up because my daughter is gonna be coming home from the prom and I have to hear all the stuff that happened and all
Well,
that great stuff.
thank you for letting me up.
Thank you, Debbie, for coming up here. Deb A, I love you. Thank you. And please come back. Next time, please come back.
I'll be
I want
back.
to thank Sour Girl because I love Sour Girl and Carrie and the rest of y'all. Listen, I see y'all quite giving your stories. I need you to hold on and wait for a month or so, and you can come up and tell them because this is great fun and it's no drama. Well, it's a little bit of drama, but not the kind of drama that the kind of drama that's okay. But yeah, please watch for the thing to drop because I want everyone to get up in here and tell their story and know that you're going to be heard and accepted. Your story will be accepted.
Can I say something real
Yeah.
quick to Sour Girl?
Yeah.
Because I have no other way to get in touch with her. I have been watching this TikTok of this dog, and he is hysterical. I mean, I at one point I thought to myself, "Oh my God, he reminds me of Sour Girl's cat." You know,
Walter.
yeah. So I'm
I love Walter.
listening
I
to
love this
this dog, and I'll be damned. Guess what his name is?
Is it Walter?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
I'm gonna have to find it and get in touch with you somehow, Sour Girl, to send it to you next time I see it. It's hysterical.
Every time I at night when Sour Girl shows up with Walter, I picture Walter like with literally little cat pajamas on, right? Maybe some glasses, reading. I don't know what I picture. Walter's so beautiful. We're not worthy of his beauty. He is so beautiful. We used to have a dog named Walter. Oh hell, I might get a dog just to name him Walter. That's what I would do. All right. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I do love you all, Debbie. I love you. I love all y'all in chat. I'll see some new faces. We're doing good over here. We're having fun.
And Shannon,
yeah, pipe and a monocle. Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing, Shannon, because like I said, you literally look gorgeous.
I appreciate that.
I'm just, I mean, every time I see you, you get better and better.
Oh, stop it.
No, I'm
going to put that on the loop.
I'm watching you thinking, God, what the hell is she doing?
Fighting tooth and nail. I'm telling you, I'm fighting tooth and nail against
well, you look great.
I'm not really, but I do appreciate that. That's always wonderful and great to hear. And I will accept it. And let me see. Hold on. All right. So I didn't drink. Obviously, I want everybody to check there. Didn't drink the whole bottle of wine because I'm not a wino. Just in case somebody says, hey, Mitten Mommy, you're the best mod ever. I appreciate you very much. You work. But I don't want people to say I drank a whole bottle of wine. I didn't. So there you go. All right. I love y'all guys. I'm going to try to come on more live because I really miss it. And I miss, I miss all of y'all so much. I didn't know how much I missed y'all until.
Oh my God, Shannon, you got to keep this up. I was listening to Bored because nobody was going live. And there this Gossip Girl, Katie Joy or Katie
Yeah.
Something about crystal ball without a crystal ball.
Oh, without a crystal ball, yeah.
So she was talking to the police. Somebody had gotten the body cam from a night that the cops were called on her.
Yeah.
So they're listening to we're listening to this police thing, and I don't know the backstory. I don't know what's going on, But I
Right.
heard her say, the cop said, if you get harassed this much, why do you do it? She said, you want to know why? She said, in May, I made $90,000 on YouTube. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be damned. We gotta get in there and get Shannon making
I'm
ninety
gonna
thousand
listen.
dollars on YouTube.
I'll go kick her ass, and I'll take all the damn sister wives with me because they don't like her very much. I know. I need to get some. I need to find a. I don't know though, because I'm so moving away from like drama. I'm moving away from it, and maybe that's why.
But it doesn't have to be our drama.
Oh,
It can
well,
be,
that's true.
you know,
You're right. You're right.
can be ghost drama, or
Ghost
it can be,
drama.
who knows?
Yes. I could be the ghost drama girl. That's perfect. Every week we're doing we're doing ghosts every week. If y'all are not haunted, go get haunted so you can come back and tell me. That's all I got to say about that. All right. I love you guys. I'm gonna go up here and finish watching this hockey game with my son and then wait for my little daughter to get home. I love you. Hopefully we'll see you next Saturday. I have to check with her. I don't know if that's the awards or a Friday night or a Saturday night, but anyway, we'll figure it out. And I love you.
Thank you, Shannon, and
Thank
thank you all
you.
for listening to my rambling.
We loved it. All right, everybody, be safe. Have a
Good
good
night.
night. Don't get paralyzed in your sleep.